After they take the photos, we move them out of here. Why are we allowing them to linger?
Yeah, I know. The only issue is the merch store is right there.
What, behind us?
No, right back where you were taking pictures.
Right there?
So we're gonna have to move to merch.
Why is there a merch store? Fuck the money.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Get rid of it. Give it to them for free. I don't care.
The biggest name on YouTube is teetering on the edge of oblivion. Why? Oh, just a tiny little scandal involving a supposed pedo in his inner circle. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's dive into this mess before it sinks the whole ship. But nothing floats nicer than a good amount of money, right?
I was curious, would you quit your job for $10,000 in cash?
No.
I figured you'd say that. You don't actually have to quit your job. Do you want 10 grand though?
Yes, I would love it.
Here you go. We're not actually gonna make her quit her job. Oh, you're crying?
MrBeast waltzes into Walmart with a suitcase of cash, casually asking this employee if she'd quit her job for $10,000. Her reaction? A hard pass. Turns out loyalty to Walmart trumps easy cash. Here he is, the dude who made counting to 100,000 entertaining is in hot water. No, boiling lava. We're talking about Jimmy Donaldson, the guy who turned charity into a spectacle and made millions think, hey, maybe I should try burying myself alive. But this time, it's not his stunts making headlines. It's the chaos in his crew. And trust me, the drama is messier than a mud wrestling match.
There was a third evidence drop regarding Chris. This time, recordings of Discord calls in which inappropriate comments were made in the presence of minors.
Dude, I would inside of that egg and then watch her eat it and then watch her have sex with another man while she comments about how my genitalia can never satisfy her.
It also definitely looks bad that Chris apparently deleted their entire Snapchat account once people started posting these things.
Nothing like some old recordings of Discord calls where he's making inappropriate comments in front of minors. He actually said he'd like to be inside an egg, watch a woman eat it, and then have sex with another man while she criticizes his genitals? What the hell is wrong with this guy? Remember, this is the same guy who was running the excavator. The irony here is thick. Chris literally buried his friend before, and now, metaphorically, he might have buried him for good. So, let's start with the juiciest piece of the turkey. Chris Tyson, one of MrBeast's right-hand men, got slapped with some seriously disturbing allegations. Grooming a minor, folks. That's not just a career ender, it's a life ender. And what did MrBeast do? Initially, not a damn thing. The silence was louder than a vlogger's intro music. When he finally spoke up, distancing himself and promising an investigation, it was like trying to put out a wildfire with a squirt gun. The internet lost its collective mind, and rightfully so. The fallout was brutal. Fans, once loyal to a fault, felt betrayed, and the trust that Jimmy spent years building started to crumble faster than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. And of course, check this out. Nothing better than getting buried by an old friend.
Oh, here it comes!
I heard Carl yell, "Here it comes," so I assume something's about to happen.
Yeah!
Is it full?
No.
All right, time lapse.
Carl, our future Ava overlord, is running the show above ground. Who else would you trust with heavy machinery dangling over your head? Given Carl's spectacular dive into scandal, those red flags were probably flapping in the wind for a while. But hey, hindsight's always 20/20ths. The reaction? Explosive. Social media turned into a battlefield with everyone and their grandma weighing in on MrBeast's responsibility. It wasn't just about Chris Tyson anymore. It was about the culture MrBeast fostered. How could he not know? How deep did this rabbit hole go? The scandal didn't just tarnish MrBeast's shiny reputation. It dragged it through the mud. The very foundations of his empire were at risk. And suddenly, those feel-good charity stunts seemed a little less shiny. But wait, we're just getting started. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, ex-employees started spilling the tea on what it's really like to work for MrBeast. And spoiler alert, it ain't pretty. Picture a sweatshop with better lighting, high-pressure demands, impossible standards, and a boss with a perfectionism streak wider than the Grand Canyon. Nate Anderson, a former editor, basically said working there was like living in a nightmare. Fun, right? This was the same guy who gave away houses and cured blindness. The contrast, sharper than a knife.
Time spoke to a dozen former MrBeast employees, and while all admired Donaldson and his vision, they found that the company's attention to detail slipped when it came to adhering to safety norms or maintaining a healthy work culture. And adding many had signed NDAs and would not go on the record for fear of angering a powerful company.
Time magazine talked to a bunch of former MrBeast employees. Turns out, while they all think Donaldson's got a killer vision, they also think his company couldn't care less about safety and a healthy work culture. Surprise, surprise, right? A lot of them signed NDAs. Nothing says we love you like forcing you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. The vibe behind the scenes was more toxic than your ex's DMs. These revelations were a gut punch to the fans who thought the MrBeast crew was one big happy family. Turns out, the smiles were for the camera, and the reality was a burnout factory. This wasn't just bad PR, it was a full-on crisis. The allegations made people question the ethics behind every wholesome video. Was this empire built on the backs of overworked, underappreciated staff? The answer seemed to be a resounding yes, and it was a bad look to say the least. Next up on the disaster parade, the Squid Game remake. Now, if you missed this one, you're probably living under a rock. MrBeast thought it'd be a killer idea, pun intended, to recreate the hit show's deadly games for a cash prize. Sounds fun until you remember that Squid Game is a brutal critique of socioeconomic disparities. Turning that into a YouTube spectacle? Talk about missing the point. Critics tore him apart, saying he was as tone deaf as a broken piano.
Players, welcome to Glass Bridge. There's 2 platforms you can jump on. One will drop you and one will hold you. Start the timer. Begin the challenge.
Remember Squid Game? The show where losing meant, well, dying? At least here, MrBeast's contestants aren't literally risking their lives, just their dignity and sanity. But hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. The lengths people go to for cash prizes are both impressive and mildly terrifying. Instead of life and death, it's all about financial desperation. Nothing says economic hardship like agreeing to a real-life version of Squid Game. Watching them balance between platforms makes my wallet cry in empathy. Who knew YouTube could turn into a psychological thriller? This wasn't just a minor slip-up, it was a faceplant into the mud. The backlash was fierce. People weren't just annoyed, they were pissed. MrBeast turned a serious commentary on financial despair into a carnival game. The lesson? Maybe not every trending topic needs a YouTube challenge. The fallout added another layer of controversy to an already shaky reputation. For MrBeast, this was a harsh reminder that context matters, and some stories are too heavy for a viral stunt. Hungry already? Nothing better than a good burger. Or whatever this is, because I'm pretty sure it's not real meat.
Money for you, money for you, money for you, money for you. You better come get a Beast Burger. What's up, boys? Welcome. What can I get you? All we have is burgers. Grab back, 1 sec. We need 4 burgers. 4 burgers.
I've never done this in my life.
Money for you, money for you, money for you. It's like Oprah, but with burgers. He's luring people in with wads of cash and promises of a Beast Burger. But nothing says food safety like a bunch of 20-somethings admitting, I've never done this in my life. Oh great, just what you want to hear from the people handling your food. It's like getting to a plane and the captain announces, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to enjoy my first flight with you this evening. Damn. Let's not forget the MrBeast Burger debacle. What was supposed to be a delicious extension of his brand turned out to be a fast food flop. The hype was real, but the reality? Not so much. Customers received cold, soggy messes instead of gourmet delights. Social media was flooded with complaints, and it didn't take long for the novelty to wear off. MrBeast Burger? More like MrBeast Blunder. This venture was a PR nightmare wrapped in greasy paper. Fans who trusted his brand felt duped. The negative reviews spread like wildfire, burning through any goodwill he had left. It was a harsh lesson in sticking to what you know. Just because you can make viral videos doesn't mean you can cook a decent burger. The failure wasn't just about bad food, it was about broken trust. For MrBeast, it was a sobering reminder that every new project needs as much care and attention as his videos. Looks that the burgers were as healthy as participating in a huge reality, actually. Maybe it was a lot healthier than dehydration and lack of food.
I was a contestant until the end. I also didn't accept their hush money. It was really bad. People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though we were promised we would. And it was 100% rigged.
MrBeast has officially gone off the deep end with this Beast Games thing. Amazon Prime collab? More like Amazon Crime collab. Contestants were out here having seizures because they couldn't get their meds. I mean, what is this? The Dark Ages? And then they tried to hush people up with cash. Like, hey, sorry we almost killed you, but here's some hush money. What a joke. They said it was all fair and square, but it was 100% rigged. This isn't reality TV. This is a lawsuit speedrun. Maybe next season, they'll try something radical, like not endangering people's lives. Wild idea, I know. And then there was the Joe Rogan podcast appearance. Now, Rogan's show is a mixed bag at best, known for its controversial takes and dubious guests. MrBeast popping up there was like pouring gasoline on a fire. Fans were not impressed. Associating with Rogan, known for spreading misinformation, was a move that backfired spectacularly. The fallout? More like a fallout shelter.
But like, you mess up, you learn from your mistake, you mess up, you learn from your mistake. You in 2 years, might have learned from 20 mistakes. Or if you have like 4 other people who are also messing up, and when they learn from their mistake, they teach you what they learned.
Picture this. You tune in expecting fun stories and maybe some behind-the-scenes charity stuff, and instead you get a deep dive into Rogan's world of wild opinions and dubious science. It's almost like MrBeast was playing a game of how much backlash can I handle? This decision alienated a chunk of his audience who felt that he was endorsing Rogan's often problematic views. It was a misstep that highlighted the importance of knowing your brand's values and sticking to them. MrBeast, in trying to broaden his appeal, ended up narrowing his fan base. The episode served as a cautionary tale. Not all publicity is good publicity, especially when it comes from questionable sources. For MrBeast, it was another notch in the controversy belt. Nothing screams originality like getting stranded on purpose on a faraway island and trying to survive. Have you ever seen Lost? Well, take a look.
We immediately got to work, but we had to be careful because above you is the most dangerous tree on Earth. It contains poisonous tree sap that could literally kill you.
Why are we still standing?
Here, another curveball at MrBeast. His 7 Days Stranded at Sea video got hit with a copyright claim for using stolen animation. Yep, the king of originality found himself accused of ripping off content. The video was pulled faster than you can say cease and desist, and the internet had a field day. The copyright claim wasn't just a legal hiccup. It was a blow to his credibility. For someone who prides himself on creativity, this was a serious ding. Fans and critics alike questioned his integrity, and the incident underscored the importance of originality in the content creation game. It was a stark reminder that even the biggest creators need to play by the rules. For MrBeast, it was a humbling experience that highlighted the fine line between inspiration and imitation. Of course, people wanted to see if this was the first time he did something like this, and they stepped into something that, again, is not original at all: racist jokes.
Selling N-word for $400 money? The most I would pay is like $300. Sorry, $400 is just out of my price range for that type of stuff.
Check at this oldie but goldie, thinking this would be funny to anyone. Ever. I mean, come on, dude. This kind of joke isn't edgy or clever, it's just plain racist. And now with everyone able to dig up old content, this is not the kind of thing you want resurfacing. So where does this leave MrBeast? On the brink, my friends. The Chris Tyson scandal, the toxic workplace allegations, the Squid Game misfire, the burger flop, the Rogan disaster, and the copyright debacle have all taken their toll. His empire, once shining bright, now looks like it's on the verge of collapse. Can he bounce back? Only time will tell. We had the burgers. We wanted to have some dessert. Also, can I get the tab? Well, maybe this time, MrBeast can pay for me.
This is $100 ice cream. It's really good. This cheese is $500. That's pretty good. Oh gosh, I'm excited. Oh my god, this is really good. All right, we're going to the next door. This is $1,000 chocolate.
Just imagine, $100 for a single scoop. Must be sprinkled with gold dust or something. He says it's very good. Yeah, for that price, it better taste like heaven. Finally, we get to $1,000 chocolate. Seriously, $1,000 for chocolate? Does it come with a private jet ride or what? Watching him enjoy it makes me reconsider my life choices. I'm over here with my basic snacks while he's living the luxury snack dream. Yeah, no, for me, I'm all right with my goldfish baked flavor blasted. Yeah, well, the only blasted thing here was my dream to be a billionaire, but hey, who needs money when you have cheddar flavored snacks? In the world of YouTube, fortunes can change in a heartbeat. MrBeast's story is a roller coaster of highs and lows, and the next chapter is anyone's guess. One thing's for sure, we'll all be watching. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Because if there's one thing MrBeast has taught us, it's that you never know what's coming next.